The Triton Contractor Saw has been around for a while now, in fact several years. Being a module unit, it offers versatility by being able to be stored away or still using other modules that the system comes with, allowing for more space in your workshop. So what's in the box? Let's get it open. So here we have it, the Triton TWX7 saw, with various bits of packaging, and there it is in all its glory. And simply just drops into place. Just like that. So what else is in the box? The usual book supplies. Don't discount them though, might need them. It doesn't matter what it is. Power adapter with a UK plug on it. Push stick, obviously for pushing your timber past the blade, keeping your digits nice and safe. What else is in here? Dust extractor port, that's obviously a converter, so you can put different pipes on there depending on what machines you're using. We have a protractor, very well in the box. So yep, nice protractor. Change the angle depending on how you wish to set and how you wish to push the timber through the saw. This is the one piece that we all need to fit before even turning the machine on. There's a riving knife, and that will just slot in there. So it keeps everything nice and safe. Dust extraction keeps your dust out of your face and off your other machinery and etc. But yeah, make sure you fit this before you go anywhere near the blade. Continuing into the box, I don't know what that is, I'll have to look at the instructions. See, they do come in useful from time to time. I assume that's for holding a cable or something out of the way. We'll look at that in a minute. And the tools for fitting the riving blade, I suspect. Carrying on. Oh, it's like Christmases. This will be the guide. So you can see it's got measurements top and bottom. This will fit on the side of the table, so as you're pushing your sheets of timber across, you can get your exact measurements of the thickness of your cut. Is there anything else in the box? No, there's not. So great. I suppose that just leaves me to put it all together and show you how it all works. As you can see, all the pieces are out of the box on the workbench, ready to be fitted. I've not done this before, my first time, so definitely a baptism of fire. So if I do things in the wrong order, or if you've got a better suggestion, please leave a comment below and I'll improve for the next time. So let's get on with it. So like with the bench dog, which was originally in there, there are a series of adjustment screws all the way around the outside edge. So before we put anything on there, it'd be a good place to start making sure that's level. So you take a nice flat edge, and you can just run it around the edge, and you can see there's a little bit of a bounce up on that. So you just take the Allen key, which I've sensibly kept with the table on the side here, and you can just adjust as per what you need. I'm not going to bore you right now by trying to do all of this, because it is a little bit time consuming, and to get it completely accurate might take a bit of time. So anyway, let's put that to one side for a moment, because it will come useful again later on. So first of all, I think what we need to do is fit the riving blade. So to do that, we need to remove this centre piece here, the centre guard. So taking the Allen key again, unlocking it, releases the plate. If you take a look actually within the blade down here, like lift it up, you see it's got the dust trap and all the guarding bits on it. So let's bring that all the way up. And as we can see, there's the nut to replace the bolt, which would be where those tools came in, which I thought were for the riving blade, but they're not. Take these out of the packet. Got the different hex shapes, different ends for the various different parts of the machine. But for the riving blade, it's nice and simple. I guess there's another reason for doing this is so if you're transporting it in the back of your vehicle, in your van, from site to site if you need to, you literally, you come back over with the camera again, you see down here there's actually a knob to turn, which is do it with your finger, so no tools required. Very simple, which is what we all like to see. Just like that, hopefully straight into place, there we go. And then just tighten it back up again. Obviously, once that's done, we can take the plate back into position again and then just lock it back in. That doesn't look very straight to me, so obviously that's going to need some adjustment itself, but we'll have a play of that later on. So other things we need to look at. We have the dust extraction port. So that simply fits on the back underneath here. Coming down, see, nice big, they've got a nice big funnel here, and that will just slide in. Twist, does it twist? No, it doesn't twist, but it just slides in like that. So you can just put your hose on the back of it into your dust bucket, which I just so happen to have one of Triton's own right here to collect all the rubbish. On top of that, the piece of plastic, which I didn't know what it was for earlier, I did actually have a quick skim of the instructions to find out what it's for, and it's to actually help hold the push stick and your tools. Now that very simply slides into the gap down here. Can't really do it here because I already fixed on this one, but if you come around to this side, because I'm also right-handed, it helps me. If you're left-handed, perhaps you'd probably do it on the other side, but just slide it into the gap, make sure your nut's done in the right place, so it slides in. Then you can tighten the screw up when you've got it into the right place. Hold your tools in place. One thing I did fail to mention, when I mentioned about the angle, might have been easier I should do this before putting the riving blade on. Underneath here, next to the adjustment handle, there are two little grub screws. I'll show you those in a second, which change the pitch and of the blade itself, whether it's bang on 0 degrees or at 45 degrees. Using a square and without the riving blade in place, to bring the camera around this side, you can place it up against the edge of the blade and you can see whether it's in the right angle or not. This is pretty much bang on, although it could do with a tiny bit of adjustment. I can see. If you come around with the camera here, you may be able to see it. So there's a tiny little gap right at the very bottom. So it's about, I would guess, half a degree out of position. And to adjust those, you leave that where it is. So coming underneath the table, you can see various different parts of the machine. You've got the serial number, which you will need when you come to registering it for your 3-year guarantee. And for setting up the saw blade, there's a hole there which has got an adjustment screw in. That's for your 0 degree. And on the left hand side, there's another one which does the 45, which is what I showed you a second ago with the square. Also, there's the locking catch. Pull that down and it releases the handle, so you can change the degree, and you can see the setting along here as well. There's also a couple of little screws there, so once you know that you've got your blade bang on level where you want it to be, you can take, let me move it back out of the way again. Say for example you're at your 45 degree and you've got it bang on set up on the top, you've got it all nicely locked off, the handle there, so it's not going to move. You can undo those screws and you can adjust the label point behind to give you your exact bang on measurement. Every time you move it, it would be worth just giving it a quick look and a double check just to make sure before you do actually cut any timber. So just putting it back to 0 degrees again. Lock it off. Obviously, handle for raising and lowering the blade. So the next thing to do is to insert the guide rail. Now there are 4 locking catches on either side of the desk, which obviously we need to open up to begin with, otherwise it's not going to go in. Simple as that. Now taking the rail, opening up the arms, it slides just onto the side there, one for each side. You get it lined up, it should just slide straight in, one on each side, keeping it nice and straight all the way. Now the first time we do this, we need to adjust the measuring guides. So what you do, you can do it on both sides, but as I'm on this side, I'll show you how to do it here. So you lift the rising blade cover out the way, take the plate all the way to the edge of the blade, and you will see on this side, and the same on the other side as well, there is a measuring gauge which is half hidden now by the cover, but you can see the measurements on the rule currently do not line up with the lines on the marker. There's a black and a red, obviously corresponding to which side you fit the rail. On this side I would suggest that you would use the red one, which you can see already is about 3 or 4 millimeters out. So what we'd need to do is just back that off, take a screwdriver and then very slightly adjust the positioning of it, put it back. And similarly on the other side over here, exactly the same thing again. And you see again, this one's about 1 millimeter out. So again, you would just move the rail out of the way, undo the screws, move the gauge across, put it back again just to double check. And then you would remove the rail completely. Careful not to do that. So you remove the rail completely, spin it around, do it the other side just to double check that the black lines up with the black. So once your guides are all set up, hopefully you shouldn't have to do that again. And then once you want to cut your material, obviously measure out your distance between your blade and the edge using the measurements on the side, and then just lock it off into position. Nice and firm, it's not going to go anywhere at all. So, and to use your angle, fantastic piece of kit this is as well. A couple of bolts underneath, make sure they're loose. You've got that's your fat face, and the guide which spins into the rail on the table, straight in. And again, that has a little gauge on here which can tell you the degree angle of the cut. Obviously that will work on either this side or on this side, which we can't see. So there we have it, the basic construction of the TWX7 Contractor Saw. All there's left for me to do now is to put my tools on the sides to make sure they don't go missing, and to plug it in and just try it out with a couple of scrap pieces of wood just to ensure that it is going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'd love to see and hear from you very soon. Thanks very much for watching.